Good evening. I hereby call this December 12th meeting of the Public Safety Committee to order. We do have a few technical issues we're working through right now, but while we're doing that, we have all committee members present, myself, Councilmember Larson, Councilmember Burke, Councilmember Mundy. We're joined by Councilmember Scipio, and we appreciate you all being here today. As we always like to do, we thank our police, our fire, and our emergency management departments for the work that you do for the citizens in the city of Winston-Salem. We really appreciate you, and we thank you for your service. We have a short agenda. As you are aware, items on consent agenda are typically approved with one sweeping motion unless a member of the committee asks an item to be pulled for consideration. With that being said, members of the committee, are there any items we should consider or pull? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
C2, please, Chairman.
Item C2. Any other items?
No others. I would move that we approve the balance of the consent agenda.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Please, while we're working through the technical difficulties here, all in favor, while you're voting yes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposers? All right, we got it all done. The consent agenda is approved with exception to item C2. If you'd read that item, please, ma'am.
Item C2, ordinance amending Chapter 6, Section 6-16 and 6-17 entitled Applicability of Regulations of County Board of Health and County Animal Control Ordinance and Restraint of Dogs, respectively, of the Code of the City of Winston-Salem to reflect changes in the County Code of Ordinances regarding animals.
I'd like to recognize our Public Safety Attorney, Attorney Sykes. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you. You too, Mr. Chairman, council members. What we have here is, it could almost be referred to as a technical amendment to the code. I was approached some time ago by Captain Loveland with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, who is over their animals division, and he was gracious enough to be here this evening if you have any questions. There are some independent city-only provisions in our animal ordinance, but for the most part, it incorporates by reference the Forsyth County Animal Control Ordinance. And this change will make us reflect their ordinance in that they have made some changes. The title of their Animal Control Division is now Animal Services. There now changes that were adopted by the county some time back about tethering dogs and leaving them unattended in a yard. That has been changed, and we would reflect that. And there's also new references to underground fencing and what those systems would require in order to be an acceptable way to leave an animal in the owner's property, but not under their direct control. So again, I'll try to answer anything that I can, and if not, Captain Loveland is here also.
Thank you, Attorney Sykes. Mr. Mundy.
My primary reason for asking to pull that was to reiterate, re-educate folks who are listening, folks who read, that animal control, animal services is in fact a county responsibility. Certainly there are things that go on within the city limits with animals, but at the end of the day, it is a county function. And I know right now there are a lot of negotiations going on with the Forsyth Humane Society, and I hope both sides will meet somewhere in the middle. But again, that is a county function, not a city function. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. It's been motioned and properly seconded. We need to do it electronically as well, please. All in favor, please vote yes. Opposers, no. It's been seconded by John Larson.
Second.
That is approved. Thank you. Item G1, please.
Item G1, resolution awarding contract for Live 911 platform, HG Technologies doing business as Higher Ground.
Assistant Chief Gomez, thank you for being here today, and I understand you'll be giving the information on this item.
Yes, sir. So I'm just going to recap this item. As you said, this is First of all, my apologies. Good evening, Chair Taylor, council members. This is an item that's coming before you guys as an action item. It was presented to you guys as an info-only presentation back in October, where the representative from Higher Ground came before you guys and presented what Live 911 does. Basically, this is a technology that allows officers to receive live 911 calls as they're patrolling. In essence, it allows an officer to be able to respond to a location where they are in need a lot quicker. They're able to hear the call for service. And they can hear intonation and basically all the little nuances that we may not be able to pick up from our computer screen or from a dispatcher. It cuts down time for service, and it's been successful in other places in the country. This was an item that was on the consent agenda for finance earlier, and that's pretty much a recap of Live 911.
Thank you, sir. As you've heard, this is our second pass on this information. Members of the committee, are there any questions or concerns at this time? Thank you, Assistant Chief.
Thank you.
May we have a motion, please?
Move for approval.
And second?
Second.
All in favor, please vote yes. Opposers, vote no. The item is approved unanimously. Thank you. Item G2.
Item G2, information on Duke Power Foundation grant award to the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Office of Emergency Management.
Mr. Vernon, how are you today, sir? Hope you're well.
Good, sir. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. This will be a very brief presentation. For one reason, we still don't have a lot of information. This was so fast moving. So the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Office of Emergency Management is the recipient of a 2022 very quick turnaround end-of-year grant from the Duke Energy Foundation. This grant is going to be for $25,000, does not require any matching funds. I don't have a lot of information because the incident in Moore County has certainly put back a lot of things that Duke Energy were working on. So our understanding, the timing of this is a little bit up in the air, but we wanted to get this in front of you as quick as we could. What this grant is going to be for is to equip, purchase and equip a small mobile command post trailer. These trailers come in different sizes, shapes, and forms. This grant will allow us to get one that we can use and pull by our already existing vehicles, so it does not require the purchase of any new vehicles. Also, this will not just be for the Office of Emergency Management, but for all our city and county public safety agencies, and will be available across the county and even really across the region if it is needed. This trailer would respond to any major incidents, emergencies, or large-scale planned events, such as we now have concerts with 33,000 people and larger, so this could be used for any of those. And one of the reasons we need this is some of these incidents go on for very long duration. The unfortunate plane crash that we had a few weeks ago, we had personnel on scene out there for 3 days, which has been average for plane crashes. We're all familiar with the Weaver fertilizer fire for 5 to 6 to 7 days. So this is for longer term incidents to provide a safe, warm place for personnel to manage the incident, take breaks as needed. Obviously, this would be equipped with generators, heaters, AC, mobile Wi-Fi spots, radio chargers, and other things. I don't really have a good definition yet of what we're going to get until we get the trailer, and then we're going to go from there with some planning. And obviously, when this project is complete, we will maybe do a little show and tell with you and put you to work in it. This project was selected by the Duke Energy Foundation as a priority for public safety across the county and the region, and will increase our response capabilities at emergency management, again, with our other city-county partners, including Winston-Salem Fire Department, Winston-Salem Police Department. The only tentative timeline I can give you now, again, after the Moore County event, is January, that we would be recipients of the check, or maybe even mid-December. And we're in kind of a holding pattern on that, and obviously we'll let you know when that occurs. So that's a very brief description of where we're at on a quick turnaround grant. Do you have any questions?
Members of the committee, any questions for Mr. Vernon? Councilman Mundy.
Thank you for the presentation. I know there are some holes to fill as we learn more, but you mentioned that others in the county, the region, could possibly use this. even though we're getting this with a grant, there would be some cost for us to maintain this. If we loan this out, is that in a, any kind of a quid pro quo? Would they pay for it? Have we not thought that far down the road?
No, that's a good question. All the resources we have, we go to other jurisdictions on a very regular basis. They come here to help us. That is all under an umbrella called a mutual aid agreement. There's a mutual aid system across all 100 counties in North Carolina, and we all do help each other. And I don't want to say that's the cost of doing business, but example, with Weaver, some of these other incidents, other counties and jurisdictions will come and help us at no cost.
That's good to know. That's good to
Yeah,
know.
so that's kind of the expectation with the sort of, a lot of the grants we get, Homeland Security, State Emergency Management, the expectation that FEMA focuses on a regional approach now to better use resources and funds. So obviously, again, under that mutual aid agreement, if someone needs it and we're able to send it and we're not using it, we would allow that resource to go out of county.
We get first dibs.
Absolutely.
I have a second question, but it's
Please
not
proceed.
about the particular grant, if anybody else has questions about that.
You have the floor, sir.
You opened this door, so I'm going to walk through it.
Uh-oh, okay.
What are we doing, or what is Duke Energy doing for our substations to protect them and make sure that the same thing that happened in Moore County is unlikely to happen here?
I mean, I'd have to direct that question towards Duke Energy. I mean, I will tell you, when something like that happens, we did offer support from the city and county to Moore County. From both city, Winston-Salem and Forsyth County, we offered them a lot of resources, but they had a lot of help down there, which again is typical for something like that. We obviously have been in communications with Duke Energy and our law enforcement partners. But again, some of that I think Duke Energy would need to answer. And also some of those items I would be hesitant to talk about in a public forum. Obviously, I can say it's a big discussion going on right now.
Thank you.
Councilmember Scipio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Vernon, when you say trailer,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
came to my mind was not something you alluded to. So are you talking about like a camper where people could actually, I'm sorry.
There we go. Repeat your question.
When you said trailer, I was trying to visualize what you were speaking to, but then you said something about overnight. So are you talking about a camper where people could sleep that's going to be retrofitted with equipment, or is it just like an open trailer that you take equipment in? I love the fact that it's a grant, but $25,000 didn't seem like a whole lot of something big. So I was thinking of the trailer that you just saw.
Yeah, so that's a good question. This will be a trailer that people can sit inside of and work.
Okay, great.
It will have computer monitors, Wi-Fi. We can take it anywhere, drop it off, run it off a generator. Also with these trailers, you can put screens on the outside, build tents off of it.
Okay.
And you can make it a bigger type of system that you could use.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions for Mr. Vernon? Ms. Larson,
Make a comment.
comments as well.
First of all, congratulations on the grant for you and Assistant City Manager Tony. I was curious, you talked about a quick turnaround. What does that mean? When did you find out about this grant? Did they come to you with it, or did you generate it? Or
They approached us, and we had a very quick amount of time to respond to it.
to pull it all together? Well, congratulations on it. We just had a discussion about our priorities. We were talking about federal and state legislative priorities, and ultimately it's the grants like these that move the bar up that we don't have in the budget, and we're able to accomplish things that we don't normally get accomplished with the normal operating budget that we have. So thank you for your staff that had the initiative to put that together in the quick notice.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions or comments? Well, members of the council, this is a general agenda item where information was just supposed to be disseminated. I imagine this will come back before us in January for consideration. So if you have anything that come up, jot it down and we'll talk about it in January. Thank you, Mr. Vernon, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
That completes both our consent and general agenda items. Members of the council, committee, staff, are there any items that we should consider for the good of the order? Seeing no additional items, we'll consider this meeting to be adjourned. Thank you.